Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy.
Hey, you're so cute!
Coming back at you with some more For Honor. This is going to be a real conventional video because it's right on the, I guess, eve of testing grounds being gone and then us being able to, like submit feedback and whatnot. But I haven't touched on a couple characters that were in the testing grounds, that being the Jang Jun, the Gladiator, and Berserker. So I figured in this video we'll kind of touch on those ones, and then at the end kind of give my encompassing thoughts on the testing grounds and what I think of the characters and changes in there. So first I'll just probably go into like a custom match and mess around with the characters that I didn't play, just to show you guys kind of, what you could expect potentially coming for the character in the future. And then, like I said, yeah, I'll give my thoughts at the end. So hopefully you will enjoy this, and let's go ahead and talk about stuff. Really quickly though, guys, I got a nice product here that I'd like to actually talk to you about, and that is the Ozai 27-inch gaming monitor. Now, you guys probably know that this is not the first time I've talked about monitors on the channel. I did get like a portable monitor that I talked about from the people at Lapao, but this one is a normal, standard, stand-up 27-inch 1080p 144 hertz monitor. And remember, as I said before, the more monitors you have obviously increases your performance, but also the bigger your monitor. As we know, bigger number, better person. So 27 inches is pretty huge, but the thing that actually makes it pretty nice is it's pretty much frameless. Normally monitors have about a frame, maybe an inch, inch and a quarter thick. This one is less than maybe around a quarter inch thick. So you get pretty much all 27 inches of that screen displayed to you, which makes a huge difference, especially for when you're playing games or watching movies, to see the entire screen. That's really, really nice. And as you guys should know, monitors are pretty much the way to go for gaming. You don't really want to use a TV just due to the response time, input lag on TVs. This one, however, 144 hertz refresh rate, which is really good. 1 millisecond response time. It's pretty much what you got to look for. And it comes with the HDMI, the display port, and USB ports, so you can make sure you can hook it up to all of your systems. And one of the really, really cool things about it is its price line. Now you can see over here I have two monitors. The one on the right is a BenQ, also 1080p 144 hertz monitor that about maybe 3 or 4 years ago cost me $360. The one on the left, the Ozai 27-inch, that is $250 for essentially the same amount of specs, and it's much newer than this one. So I think that that alone should probably sell it. I mean, you're going to be performing way better on your games with this. You feel the difference from going from a TV to a monitor. So I definitely would recommend checking out this product specifically. Also, it doesn't do this weird fluttering thing when I'm filming it with my camera phone like my other monitor does. I don't know if that's a plus, but it does that. And there's a bunch of other really, really cool features that the monitor holds. So with this, I'm going to put a link to the monitor in the description below in case you guys want to check it out on Amazon. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. It's a really, really nice monitor, honestly. I wasn't expecting too much because I hadn't worked with the company Ozai before, but it's a great monitor, honestly, and it's been working very, very nicely for me. So honestly, I might pick up another one. So again, thank you guys. Check out that link, and let's get back to the video. All right, here we are in just a quick little testing grounds duel. I have the damage off, so nothing really matters here. But basically, we're going to be showing off the Gladiator first. And now, Gladiator is a character I don't think is too bad, but they did have some issues, I would say, probably in dealing with actually anti-ganking. They're good for a gank, don't get me wrong, obviously because of toe stab, but in general, they did have some issues with that, and as well as like their attacks not being too external. So the thing with him is that his toe stab right here, his zone attack, and his punches, the word let me punch, now go into chain finishers or into a skewer. So you can do this into a skewer, or if you wanted to, you could even toe stab into a finisher heavy after. And that, like I said, the same thing works for the zone right into a skewer, like as you can see, and a punch into a skewer. So he has a lot more options there. So his dodge attacks also did get some changes. The bee stings, which are the side dodge, now have more iframes at the startup, as well as the sucker punches have more iframes, and the crowd pleaser moves forward more, which is his jumping light attack. So there is some pretty good stuff on that. Iframes are obviously very advantageous to have in this game. His toe stab now does 10 damage, and it does not prevent executions on bound opponents. So if you like had someone locked up and someone got a heavy, they would get an execution on it. So that's not in there anymore. The skewer now costs 12 stamina, and it no longer guarantees the dash forward light. After like the second one, you could cancel it and then jump forward and get one of those. So that does not exist anymore. At least from what I can see. his zone is still feintable. I don't know if they plan on changing that at all, but we'll see about that. So I'll probably discuss on him a little bit later, but those are his changes. Okay, now you have Berserker, who I think, I did not say Berserker right there, who probably got the least amount of changes. I kind of feel it's just more like quality of life stuff. So some things that did get changed, his top light opener is now 500 MS instead of 600, and it does 1 less damage, 12 down from 13. And then the after feint version, which, as you know, Zerk, he can feint and then do a light, is now 400 MS instead of 500, so it matches the side ones as well. Because before, it was kind of not good to throw the top one because it was very easily parryable. So that's a pretty good change. The head slider attack is now enhanced and moves forward further, as you can see. Even if he blocks it, I can still keep attacking. The spin chop attacks are now enhanced. And then the head crusher now moves forward further, which I assume that's the head crusher, the dash forward heavy. But yeah, so that's pretty much all he got, as well as having his sprint attack have extra forward movement. So these are just some things for the Zerk. Nothing crazy, but having some enhanced dodge attacks makes it really, really good, especially to keep his combos going. And finally, we have JJ. JJ was a character who I think was relatively good to begin with, and I don't know if he necessarily needed changes, but they are pretty good, to be honest. So just some first things is heavy openers from the side and top are now a bit quicker, but deal less damage across the board. His heavy finishers, which is his unblockable, can now soft feint and do a guard break, so that is a feature he didn't have before. His normal feint was relatively fast, so I think that, this would still be pretty nice. It wouldn't be, like, too crazy from what it is normally. His Sifu's zone is probably one of the biggest things that got changed, and when you go into it, it's actually unblockable now. So that, it might be hard to get used to at first when you're playing, but in, like, maybe if it's external, but in general, because you can't feint it, once you guys know kind of how that works, I think it won't be too much of an issue. He now has different stamina costs for his heavies. They all cost 12. His dash forward heavy is no longer feintable, and as you can see, doesn't have hyper armor, because the kick is not attached to it. The kick is just a normal thing that he has, where you can just dash forward and kick. And I don't think it wall splats anymore. No, it does not. So it's just a dash forward light, as it probably should have been. In addition to that, I know his choke parry, if you do this... Oh, wait, I guess I did it... Might have done it a bit too slow. But his choke parry does not guarantee any damage off of the actual parry. So if the bot ever attacks me, I guess I could show you that. Maybe if I could... Maybe. All right. So I'll go into a zone, and... Well, that would have hit because it was a wall, but you guys get what I'm saying. The damage is not confirmed. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry. And other than that, the only other thing that I remember is that his guard break has been changed. So instead, you can actually do a top heavy off of it, where you were only able to get a zone before. I think that's good as well. So these are the JJ changes, which are pretty damn nice. And those were the characters, basically just like what the potential changes could be. I just wanted to show those off really quickly. Now we'll actually go through and I'll give my final thoughts on the characters, I think, from the testing grounds. And you know what? We'll start with Hitokiri, because that seemed to be the one that people had the most gripe with, or whatever, in my recent video that I did with her. And I kind of understand and kind of don't understand at the same time. I simply think that roughly like 95% of the changes that Hito got are actually very good. I don't mind the hyper armor being changed. I don't mind the dodge attack. I don't mind the stuff being from chains. The only thing I thought maybe that needed to get changed was the kick, the mix-up. So I just thought maybe having the normal kick confirm a light would be my type of change. But the rest of it I thought was fine. So I didn't. I must have struck a chord, unfortunately. I apologize about that. But that was pretty much my only issue with the character. It's just a lot of options, and the damage can stack up relatively quickly. So that was my big thing with that. And I should say overall, I think most of these changes to the testing grounds are really good. So just keep that in mind as well. The Glad one, he got a lot of different changes that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the iframes extra on his punches and whatnot. I'm cool with like the flowing of the skewer. It makes him very scary, to be honest, but I wish they would just have changed it to make his zone not feintable. That would have been pretty nice. I think because it's a very, very safe option. If they like made it to where like if you throw it, you throw it, I think that would be a good change. But Glads honestly weren't bad, but he did get much stronger, which is completely fine. I'm more of the wanting to bring up characters so that they all can compete on a level rather than nerfing down characters, because that kind of gets boring and whatnot. Zerk, like I said, it was more quality of life stuff. It's nothing bad that you can really say. It's just all his top lights and like a lot of his dodge attacks got better. So that'd be good for him, obviously. And I know a lot of people talked about him potentially getting like some of his hyper armor reworked, but I think that's kind of the purpose of the character and what they are, but I don't know, maybe it will in the future. I'm not too sure too much about what they would do for Zerk. Now we have Shigoki. Shigoki is quite different, but still easy and seems very good. I'm definitely a fan of the roll catch, obviously. The sprint thing is funny for the moment just because you can kind of spam it, but if they wanted to get rid of Oni Charge, that's fine. I'm not too shooken up about it. The Demon's Embrace from neutral, again, I'm fine with it. It's cool. I think it might not hit as much. It's much more situational now, to when you actually perform it, and for the most part, it's not like the greatest option. I mean, you still get punished out of it, and having no hyper armor on it, I think the hyper armor does make it strong, but you'll probably get knocked out of it relatively frequently. The lights removed on hyper armor was a great change. That needs to fucking go. That was terrible. And the headbutts, I don't know how I feel about them. I think that kind of takes away from what Shigoki's playstyle was, and it's just a pretty good dodge attack, and the base dodge that does like stam damage and does 10 damage or whatever. Being able to like flow into combos and stuff is pretty dang strong. I'm not too sure how they would do it, but he felt really good to me still, even though he wasn't like his old self. I preferred his old version more, I will say, but yeah, I would probably rework some stuff on the headbutts. They seem pretty too good, I would say. I would say Aramusha probably had my favorite changes because he can like actually do stuff now, which is pretty sick. The Blade Blockade reworks were really cool, being able to like cancel attack recoveries with it, and the different options within it, very nice. I like. I know some people were talking about the changing some of the stuff on Ring the Bell because it's pretty hard to like predict or whatnot, and I would agree. Maybe just it is kind of hard to see it coming when it's going to potentially happen, because like the animation of it, there's no like really like unblockable look to it. It just kind of happens. Maybe that's something that they can change, but I think it is a cool little thing, at least to be able to open up people, because that's what Aramusha struggled with a lot. The dodge attacks are obviously very nice because he can actually dodge things, and he just overall felt like a much more well-rounded character, and what I would expect from the Gucci flip-flops. Like, he deserves a nice moveset, and I had a ton of fun with these changes, so I hope they do go through. The Jianhu changes are very good as well. I think it basically touched on the stuff that he had issues with. Is he didn't have the greatest opener, and he didn't have enhanced dodges really as a dodge attack specialist. So now getting enhanced dodge attacks, I don't know if the zone needed to be faster. I thought the zone was relatively good as is. And then having now the actual like deflex speed, like the unblockable attacks, I think that's really cool. The bash obviously does help, but I see people complaining a little bit about it, because people are only using it. I do understand that. I think you can still be punished out of the dodge if you get a GB, so that'll work. And also having the right heavy now mirror the left heavy to where it will actually hit if you do externally is incredibly good. And overall, Jianhu just felt very nice to play. I would say he was probably one of the strongest characters if he were to get those changes. In JJ, honestly, I didn't really think needed changes per se. I thought he was a pretty good character to begin with, but I don't think his changes made him drastically stronger. I think it gave him some cool more options. The opener is, that I thought he didn't struggle too much with opening people, even without having like a real traditional one. He had the dash forward heavy, but now just one from neutral. I don't know necessarily he needed it, but he seems like he's going to be really good, especially in ganks with like the Sifu's unblockable, and even in 1s2 being able to soft feint the heavy finisher. So I think he's going to have a lot of pressure. I think he's going to be a pretty good pick. I think he already is a pretty good pick, but I think he just rose up just a little bit more because they did take away some damage and some other options on him, but I think they did make him a better, more well-rounded character, and probably more fun to play, honestly, too. So that's my thoughts on the testing grounds. Honestly, like I don't have too many gripes with it. I think for the most part, the For Honor devs did a very good job on this. They They brought unique changes, fun changes, things that'll probably make the game more exciting to play, and I hope that they can get them into the game relatively soon. Obviously, we need some tweaks. Some people will need to get, buffed up even more. Other people might need to get stuff taken away. And I hope we see other characters go in there, characters, like Shinobi, who's very, very weak. Even still, like, Nusha, even Orochi's still not the greatest. And just, bring up some characters as well, because if this is the route they're going, then everyone should be able to be played and have fun with instead of just like a cast of 4 characters. But overall, I think the changes were really good, and I am happy to see where the, state of the game goes. So if you guys enjoyed this, I'd appreciate if you dropped a like on it, and hope you had a nice day. Hope you're staying safe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.